According to the 20th century historian John Glubb, all civilizations have followed the same 6 phases before collapse. All empires repeat the same cycle. What are they? From 1939 to 1956, Sir John Bagot Glubb, a British soldier and author, commanded the Arab Legion from Transjordan. Later in life, he wrote about geopolitics and world history and succinctly described how civilizations rise and fall. Glubb's 1978 work The Fate of Empires and the Search for Survival is an intellectually packed article that argues all great empires follow an similar pattern by examining 11 unique civilizations. Glubb makes some interesting observations that affect modern society. Glubb first notes that although there are exceptions, a remarkable similarity in lifespans when one compares them side by side. Glubb writes, in spite of the accidents of fortune and the apparent circumstances, empires usually only last about 250 years or 10 human generations. Of the human race at different epochs, the periods of duration of different empires at varied epochs show a remarkable similarity, and the trend holds regardless of a civilization's technological level. The Assyrians marched on foot and fought with spears. The British used artillery, railways, and ocean-going ships. Yet the 2 empires lasted for approximately the same periods. The first stage of an empire glow is the Age of Pioneers, sometimes known as the Outburst. This is where a little seeming unimportant nation arises from the accession of a Philip the Macedonian Empire spread from the Danube to India. The second stage is termed the Age of Conquests. The sophistication of aging civilizations are adopted by the rising power. Hence their expansion consists of structured, disciplined, and professional campaigns. This is where the culture becomes a bona fide empire. This stage is characterized by confidence, optimism, and scorn for decaying cultures, whom they've conquered. The people of the new empire are practical in both government and war. Moreover, Glubb notes that their lack of tradition allows their leadership of freedom to try new things, he writes. The leaders are free to use their own improvisations, not having studied politics or tactics in schools or in textbooks. Next comes the Age of Commerce. With the acquisition of vast areas of land, commerce becomes easy and safe for the empire citizens. Resources, people, and ideas are exchanged over great distances, and if the empire is large, a great variety of products are produced. The Age of Commerce often overlaps with the Age of Conquests, yet the public's values begin to shift. The great military traditions still hold sway, and the great armies guard the frontier years, but gradually the desire to make money seems to gain hold of the public. An honor culture is replaced by a mercantile one. During the military period, glory and honor were the principal objects of ambition to the merchant. Such ideas are but empty words, which add nothing to the bank balance. The Age of Affluence comes next, and is a natural consequence of the Age of Commerce. Monetary gain becomes the exclusive pursuit. Glubb rides the era of luxury, silences the words of duty. The purpose of the young and the ambitious is no longer fame, honor, or service, but cash. The fighting spirit of the empire fades. As leaders buy off enemies rather than battle them, subsidies instead of weapons are deployed to buy off opponents. Military readiness or aggression is rejected, as primitive and immoral civilized peoples are too proud to fight. The fifth stage, in Glubb's model, is the Age of Intelligence, an era of academic activity that coincides with decline, whilst in the Age of Prosperity, the merchant elite patronized the arts. Presently, colleges and universities are given tremendous financing. Glubb noted that in his own time he saw the U.S. and Britain as undergoing this phase when these nations were at the height of their glory. Harvard, Yale, Oxford, and Cambridge seem to meet their needs. Now almost every city has its university, and once again the energy of the society is directed toward a new goal. The ambition of the young once engaged in the quest of adventure and military glory, and then in the desire for the accumulation of wealth, now shifts to the acquisition of academic laurels. The ultimate stage of an empire is the age of decadence. It's marked by a variety of symptoms: internal split, an influx of foreigners, materialism and frivolity, a welfare state undermining religion, and a protective mindset, empire's demise. Amidst a CAC of disagreement, Glubb writes that prolonged and persistent discourse fails to address political and social disagreements. Amid a jumble of chatter, the ship slides onto the rocks. That is because cleverness cannot solve problems that need self-sacrifice. There are times when the somewhat naive self-dedication of the hero is more necessary than the sarcasms of the smart. GL Club notes that internal strife is a hallmark of decline and provides the Byzantine Empire as a perfect example. Civil wars and infighting plagued the empire until the Ottomans were already on their doorstep. Strikes, demonstrations, boycotts, and similar activities are common in the last stage of empire, and internal unrest is compounded by external conflict rather than unifying around a potential threat that pulls itself apart. An inflow of foreigners, usually concentrated in cities, accompanies a civilization's collapse. Glubb states that when a culture is homogeneous, there is a feeling of camaraderie and comradeship among the people. But a high number of foreigners disrupts this. Foreigners break the unity of the empire owing to a few reasons. Number one, that their character often differs from that of the original imperial stock. Number two, in hard times, they are less willing to sacrifice their lives and their property. Number three, they are liable to form communities of their own. And finally, there may be resentment among those who were previously conquered by the imperial race. Glubb argues that these challenges are not due to superiority or inferiority of any race, rather because there are intrinsic disparities between them that makes a single culture difficult to maintain. In his day, he saw the flood of migrants to the dying British Empire. In London, now Zayets, Greeks, Italians, Russians, Africans, Germans and Indians crowd one another on the buses and in the underground, such that it sometimes appears difficult to find any British playfulness, is also a hallmark of Deceit. Glubb thinks that this worldview is rooted in pessimism. Let us eat, drink, and be happy, because tomorrow we die. Decadence is essentially a spiritual illness emerging from too long a period of prosperity and power. Cynicism, fall of religion, pessimism, and frivolity follow. No effort is made to save the nation because its citizens no longer believe anything is worth saving. Glubb saw the similarities between empires' lifespans as a reason to teach history differently rather than focusing on particular nations or periods. The history of the whole human race should be taught. He concluded if we studied calmly and impartially the history of human institutions and development over these 4,000 years, should we not reach conclusions which would assist to solve our difficulties today? What do you think of Glubb's analysis? Do empires follow similar cycles? Are we destined to repeat the patterns of civilizations who came before us? And if so, which of Glubb's stages are we currently in? Thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like more. Also, please check out our X account for daily content like this, and consider becoming a member of our channel to support our work. Catch you next time.